when you lose 6 figures, 7 figures on a job, the only reason you lose that much money is because you spend too much money on labour. So the reason we knew we needed to do something that really put actual to actual was probably after a few of those jobs went south. And that was probably over 24 months ago. We realised trying to distill real productivity information was near impossible. And then you throw in the third party of transferring the time into money. By the time you've kind of realised what had happened 6 months ago by, the job's finished. Whilst we were using Neo for timesheets and tracking productivity on Excel, there was a disconnect between the actual hours happening on the actual timesheet and the hours we were reporting in the Excel version, and they weren't marrying up. So there was a disconnect between what was the real truth about our hours on the job. I think at the moment, the ability to have live data day to day has been probably the game changer that we've found. We can now see if our hours are running over based on what we actually estimated for our mono square meters on that deck, and actually start to make changes and start thinking a bit harder about how do we actually keep within budget or under budget. The longer term benefits we're going to find will be influence our estimating outcome. And I think the future for us is that we create a world of benchmarking data where we can actually start to put jobs into certain categories. So we know how many square meters you should do per hour per man, which really allows you to, I guess, sharpen the pencil and be more competitive with your pricing. We've moved it a very KISS mantra, which is keep it simple, stupid. Like, I think we've moved it to the point where it's easy for guys to do it on site and understand it and actually monitor it within under 30 seconds. Whereas previously we were doing that in hours and days and weeks of people's time. Effectively, we're pushing actual timesheet data and tracking it live day to day. That's where the sort of spark came about. We're going to create benchmarking data. We're going to know our productivity rates for different formwork systems. We're going to be smarter about how big our crew sizes need to be for certain types of formwork. You know, I think gone are the old days of, I'll bring 50 blokes to the job. That sounds great. It doesn't really fix the problem. I think knowing what you need to build the job and being real specific about it is going to be the way that you make money in the future. We should be so much better in 24 months that the version 1 or version 2 that we're on today should become version 7 in 2 years from now, and it just becomes indestructible. It's something that you can't live without.